Aborigines thinking now because they're coming up? What does your religion do as a tradition?
If a lot of different religions believe in one God, why are there
Was it hard when they were growing up being different?
I haven't personally met a Muslim person before.
Neither have I.
No, I've never met a Jewish person.
I don't know anybody Jewish.
Yeah, I've also never actually gotten to know Islam before.
Together for Humanity is a multi-faith educational anti-prejudice organisation, and we travel around the country and try and teach kids about living with the challenges of diversity and dealing with difference.
For me, it was a revelation about the common humanity, and that people that come from very different backgrounds to my own share the same altruism, the same ideals, and I thought, let's get that message out to a wider audience.
It's okay to be different, that we are all different. And yet we have some things that we share in common as humanity, and that we can celebrate those things that we have in common, and we can celebrate our diversity.
It's not a complicated message, but a simple message, and one that I think speaks to the decency of most Australians.
I think what I find compelling about the way Together for Humanity goes about its business is its openness. It is open to any question.
What's the difference between Christian and Catholic?
Were you allowed to change to Jewish if you wanted to?
The home often has diverse views, and what we try and do at the school is to, generally speaking, reinforce those values, but quite often it's important for schools to take a leadership role in the kinds of wider debates that are going on out there.
I've always perceived myself as being, first and foremost, as an Australian. I don't believe that our faith should come into that. However, I think that experiences through the media in the past and present have created the distinction, and that's actually been quite unfortunate. But I think programs like this can eradicate or eliminate the distinction there.
Our school is a very monocultural school, and so a lot of people would see that there are no challenges because they don't have to accept difference. Everybody's the same. But often that's a false perception because the children that are from different backgrounds will hide that from other people, which means that they're quite isolated. The prejudices that families will have are just reinforced. And school is a good place to challenge those prejudices so that we can start to accept difference.
She was in about year 10, and at the end of the program she put up her hand and had these tears in her eyes, and she said, "What am I meant to say to my parents now?" And it was clear that she had learned something about her family that she really didn't know was the case before that.
We had some children in a school, children from minority background, who often think of racism as something that is directed towards them. But then they walked up to the teacher and said, you know, when we talk about other groups, we're being racist. You know, it was like a penny drop moment for them that racism doesn't discriminate.
As a Christian, this is such an important message because for us, we hear in the Gospels, right at the very end of the Gospel story, before Jesus is crucified, we hear him cry out this very powerful prayer to the Father. And it's not what we expect. His cry is actually for unity. He says, "May they be one, Father, as you and I are one."
Our program works in religious schools and in public schools, secular schools. In religious schools, there might be a bit of more of a resonance for some students who are religious. In public schools, we're very respectful of the fact that a lot of people are not religious, but it's not about that, it's about dealing with difference.
I really wanted to find out, so I asked this group what they were doing, and then...
We play certain games with children to make them aware of different ideas. We put a box there, we ask children to guess which of us is Australian. And almost always, children get it wrong.
What do you think it was that made you think that we weren't Australian? Yeah. Accent.
We do want to help children realise that we have prejudices and we have assumptions about people that are unfair and divisive.
I mean, if I spoke like that, would I still be Australian? Could I be? I still could. You're right. So that doesn't make sense.
It's not seeking to impose a point of view. I think it's seeking to lead children through logical discussion and argument to an appreciation of the other.
what they enjoy is finding that there are so many commonalities to being a child, and that works really well.
They're very close to being inclusive and harmonious, but it needs to be uncovered and given that extra push.
Build multi-coloured things. No stealing, no asking anyone for anything, and no dealing.
Hopefully they'll have a greater understanding and tolerance for just different people that they will encounter along the way.
These students can actually return to school, talk about those experiences, and they make other students realise that these people are just like us.
It's those moments of recognition of something deeper, when they give something away and they think, the world could be like that.
We learnt about human rights, about respecting other people.
Just to let everyone know that we're all equals.
Today I learned about different religions and not to judge the people by the way they look.
Some people talk badly about them, and now I'll say, no, I have a friend and they're really nice.
I think it sort of changed my mind. Like, if I see someone that has a different religion or has a different skin colour and they get bullied by an older kid, I reckon I should do something about it.
Yeah.
I think that it's just opened a whole new thinking block to me about other religions and how similar they can be instead of how different they are, and that you can be friends with anyone around the world. It's just they're not so different.
I learned that religions could be very much alike and not different just because they believe in different things.
If everyone learnt what we learnt today,
I think it would be a better, place to live in. Everyone would have their spot in the world and everyone can do what they like, and everyone will understand what everyone else goes through.
You wouldn't be having many wars.
everybody would have a smile on their face.
The world will be a much better place.
I think it's very important that we, learn about this while we're young, so when we're older we don't make the mistakes that many people have made.
Maybe when we grow up we can stop racism, stop war, make peace.
When they're given permission to hope, and their hope, their positive ideas are reinforced, or their horizons are broadened, they ask questions and they find out more. Kids love that. Kids are curious. Kids respond to hope. We all do.